Hello, sports fans, and happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to the very special Thanksgiving Day edition of Scott Sports 101. This is the NFL Week 13 Thanksgiving Day pregame show. Uh, we have three big games for you today, and we're going to get to all of that. And first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Thanksgiving Day trivia question. And it is a Chicago Bears trivia question. Who succeeded Hall of Famer Bill George at middle linebacker? I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Uh, we have three big games for you today on this Thanksgiving Day. In the early game, the Chicago Bears will take on the Detroit Lions at Ford Field at Detroit, Michigan. Chicago started the season 4-2 before falling apart. They've not lost. They've now lost five in a row. Three of those games have been by 3 points or less, including an overtime loss to the Minnesota Vikings last week. 1 point loss to the Green Bay Packers the week before, and the Hail Mary loss to the Washington Commanders the week before that. The Lions are the hottest team in the NFL right now and are now the favorites to win the Super Bowl. They've come in with a record of 10-1. Their wins have been the opposite of Chicago's losses over their last 5 games. They have 3 wins of 18 or more, including a 52-6 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 52-14 win over Tennessee, and they hold the keys to their own destiny. It ranks the number 1 seed in the NFC as in 8 years. Says Detroit Lions lost one on Thanksgiving Day, and Detroit's most recent Thanksgiving Day victory came against the Minnesota Vikings in 2016. I feel Detroit is going to be ready for this game today on this Turkey Day game. Jared Goff is going to have one of his biggest games, and the offense will back up Goff, and the Lions defense will keep the Bears, Caleb Williams, and the Bears from getting in the end zone and scoring. And the Lions will have the lead and finally snap their Thanksgiving Day losing skid. As for the Bears, I think they'll play well, but I think they're going to come up short in this game today. This will be one of those Thanksgiving Day games where the Bears come up short. Dan Campbell hopes to be happy on Thanksgiving Day for the first time in 4 years. The Lions have dropped 7 straight on the holiday, including 3 in a row with Campbell and the coach said losing takes a toll on family gatherings after the game. Ask my wife, she'll tell you, Campbell said. Like, that's why she's praying for a win big time, because she knows that I'm a Bear when we don't win, so we all want it. It's long overdue, but we have to win. The NFC leading Lions are now 10-1, are expected to get what they want against the slumping Chicago Bears, who are 4-7 on Thursday at Ford Field as favorites with a double-digit spread, according to BetMGM. Chicago has lost, as I mentioned, 5 straight, including the 3 on the final play. Lions quarterback Jared Goff isn't taking anything for granted after setbacks on the holiday each of the past 3 years affected his mood. I don't like being grumpy around family, Goff said. No one does. You want to win this game and be able to enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner with your family, and it will be my first time experiencing that here, and I want to do that. Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, who was taken number 1 overall at the NFL draft in Detroit last spring, has looked more comfortable in 2 games with Thomas Brown as offensive coordinator after a rough stretch of play led Shane Waldron's firing. Led to Shane Waldron's firing, I think he has done a good job understanding me and the players we have done on we have on this team, Williams said. Williams followed up a solid outing against Green Bay with one of his best performances. He helped the Bears rally from an 11-point deficit in the final 22 seconds of regulation against Minnesota, finishing with 340 yards passing and 2 touchdowns in an overtime loss. The former Southern Cal star, who has set a franchise rookie record with 2,356 yards passing, has played 4 straight games without a turnover and 5 in a row without an interception. That's a rookie quarterback who, in my opinion, has not ever scratched the surface, of how good he can be, Brown said. It's my job, my focus to continue to find ways to make him the best he can be, hold him accountable, but also the entire group. It's not just about him. The Lions are 10-1, as you know, for the first time in 90 years, and a chance to win 11 of their first 12 games for the first time in franchise history. Detroit's 9-game winning streak is its longest since starting 10-0 in 1934, to the team being the favorite to win the Super Bowl for the first time. The Lions have reached double digits in wins in consecutive seasons for the first time, and their 22 wins are a franchise record for a 2-season span. Chicago won 5 of 7 during a late season surge last year with an improved defense, which led to Goff having 2 of his worst games in 2023. Goff threw a season-high 3 interceptions in a win over the Bears in November and had a season-low passer rating against them in December. They get better of us twice, he said. A year later, Chicago's defense is going in a different direction. The unit is ranked number 17, plummeting from 5th in the league, going in week 8 at Washington. The unit is ranked number 17, plummeting from 5th in the league, going in. There have been some notable breakdowns during Chicago's skid, starting with the loss to the Commanders on a Hail Mary cornerback. Tyreek Stevenson got caught on social media motioning, to the crowd and having his back turned as the Jalen Daniels snapped the ball. He ran toward the pack and went up for the pass when he was supposed to block out Noah Brown, who was left uncovered and caught a tipped ball. 2 weeks ago, in a 1-point loss to Green Bay, the Bears give up a 60-yard completion as star quarterback Jalen Johnson got his feet tangled and tripped. That set up a go-ahead touchdown. And last week, the Vikings had 452 yards and scored 30 points. Sometimes you have to reset things under the best of circumstances, defensive coordinator Eric Washington said. So that's basically what the Bears will have to do today. And we're going to get to the other 2 games in just a moment. I'll let you know about them. And I'll give my picks for those 2 games in just a moment. And right now, it's scoreless between the Bears and Lions. In the first quarter, 7:14 to go. 4th and 9 at the Chicago 12, and the Lions have the ball. But right now, it's time for me to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101, Week 13, Thanksgiving Day trivia question. It is a Bears trivia question. Who succeeded Hall of Famer Bill George at middle linebacker? And if you said Rick Butkus, you are correct. Butkus made an immediate impact as a rookie, intercepting 5 passes and recovering 7 opponents' fumbles. He was also credited unofficially with having forced 6 fumbles. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be on for tomorrow's game, actually, because I have a special edition tomorrow because the Chiefs and Raiders are battling it out tomorrow. So I'll have a special edition for that. So stay tuned for that. In the late game, the 4 o'clock game, you will see the New York Giants battle the Dallas Cowboys. Uh, and excuse me, and the Cowboys are 4-7. The Giants are 2-9, and the Cowboys are coming off a win over the Commanders last week, and the Giants are, I think, they are coming off a loss to Baker Mayfield on the Bucks last week. And I know Dallas, I know is wanting to win this game, but the Giants are hoping for a win on this Thanksgiving Day. But they're going to have Dallas to deal with, and they really going to have to be ready for this and score early in this game because they have been struggling as of late, and it doesn't look like. And the Giants are not going to make the postseason by far because they're 2-9 right now. But they really need to make some adjustments for this game. And Dallas, they've been backed up with injuries, but they got a win last week, and they needed that win. So hopefully they get another win today. And the Thursday night football game, tonight's game, will be the Miami Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And Miami's 5-6, still trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And the Packers are 8-3, and most likely they are going to make the playoffs. And they are trying to really keep theirs alive, and hopefully they're going to. And I think I know Green Bay wants to get a win today, but Miami's hoping for a win to even up their record at 6-6. And right now it's time for me to give my Thanksgiving Day picks of the week. I am going with Detroit to beat Chicago. And I am going with the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Giants and the Green Bay Packers to beat Miami. Those are mine. I haven't got my brother-in-law's picks yet, but I will let you know who we have taken when we do tonight's game, when I podcast for tonight's game, that preview. So, those are basically my picks for today's games. And right now it's 3-0 Detroit. They've kicked a field goal. And it was Bates' 30-yard field goal was good. It was a fourth and 9 at the Chicago 12, and Bates' 30-yard field goal was good. They had to set up for a field goal, and it's now 3-0 Bears with 7:06 left to go in the first, and the Bears now have the ball. It's a 1st and 10 at the Chicago 30. So I just wanted to let you know, give you a little brief update. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101. Excuse me. NFL Thanksgiving Day Week 13 pregame show. And I'll be back with the early game pregame show. I'll say for that. I'll be back with the late game postgame show and the Thursday night football pregame show once this early game and the late game is concluded. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your friends and family. And I'll see you back here this evening. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.